the Hammer Down Racing Report. And now your hosts, Scott Hammer and Ron Miller.
Welcome, race fans, to the Hammer Down Racing Report for Thursday, August 24th, show number 295.
We're getting there, buddy.
Getting there. It's Ron Miller, Scott Hammer, coming at you live from the John Young Racing for First Responders, Dave Kemmer studio, live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Tonight on the show, we will be speaking with Craig Mintz, who just set fast time
at a must-see sprint car pavement
at
show.
Lorain, this past weekend.
With his dirt car.
No, it was an asphalt car.
Oh, okay.
It's a Rich Farmer car, but
okay.
We'll talk to we'll get all the details from him about that. I believe Jimmy McCune ended up winning that, I believe.
Seems like Jimmy McCune's been doing that a lot lately.
And I think Craig started, he had got the roll of the dice for the invert, rolled an 8. So he started 8th and finished 7th.
Nothing wrong with that.
No, that's top 10, still good. Also, Ryan Davis will be joining us. He's got 2 feature wins in the Sportsman class at Oakshade this year.
And a very respectable win last Saturday.
Yeah, he's just kind of come out of nowhere. We're going to talk to him. He's actually run that car as a late model a couple times as well. Did you know that?
I don't think I knew it.
See, I did a little research.
Really?
Wayne County and Attica, he's run that as a late model. So we'll talk to him and his unique situation. We'll go with that coming up a little bit later. Also got to mention, we peaked at number 233. Actually, we fell to number 233.
In the U.S.?
No, that's Australia.
Oh,
They're letting us down or their Apple Podcast charts in Australia. We've tumbled down to 133. I think we were up to 133 at one point, so... Maybe if we mentioned that it was Veronica McCann's birthday.
Or was, birthday. Depending on... They're like 12 hours ahead of us.
Yeah, so it's probably was yesterday for them.
Well, Veronica, either happy birthday or happy belated birthday from all the guys at Hammer Down Racing Report.
There you go. Also, before we get started, too, Steve Miller, your son, wanted me to mention...
Oh, please do.
Yeah,
that's important.
I even wrote this down here. A little girl... named Taya? Is that her name?
Kayla.
Kayla.
Right.
Are you sure?
Pretty sure.
I'm pretty sure he put Taya in the thing I just... Anyways, a little girl, who she has cancer. Her name's not the most important part here. The fact she's got cancer. He's going to be donating a door to her, and he wants all the drivers at Oakshade to come down.
She's a huge Oakshade fan, and especially a Lightning McSteve fan.
Oh, of course.
So... As most kids are.
Uh-huh.
And Steve wants as many drivers as possible to stop by his pit, sign the door, and they'll be giving that door to her.
So is it this weekend he wants everybody to have this? Okay. So if you remember and we don't get totally washed out tonight, then we should be good. But remember last week we had a big storm during the show?
Yeah.
Yeah, my whole office on the other side of the house was just...
Because somebody forgot to close the window.
Yeah, I got the air conditioning on today. No windows open. So if it does rain, we're good, unless the power goes out. Let's hope not, though.
Taya, T-A-Y-A. You're right.
See, I thought that's what it was.
Okay.
So, DCR Graphics, they do full wraps. They do banners, stickers, anything you need. I believe Craig may have gotten some numbers made from DCR Graphics. Yeah.
Very good.
Locally owned and operated. Make sure to call or text Dale at DCR Graphics at 419-308-9523. And we'll have that number scrolling at the bottom of the screen here. There you go. Give him a call. You can check him out on Facebook at facebook.com/DCR Graphics. You can also get those Hammer Down Racing Report window stickers, and he's working on something new. I didn't get any new ones because he ended up not going to Oakshade last weekend where we were going to get some more to give away.
Oh, yeah.
So I think he's working on something new to give away as well. So
new and exciting?
Next week, hopefully, we'll have some more of those stickers to be given away. But if you do have a Hammer Down Racing Report sticker on your car, let us know. Send us a picture, and we'll get you added to the Hammer Down clan. That's what we're calling it. Yeah. Clan as in not clan like a cult, but more of clan like as in Scottish.
Yeah.
There you go. Dominator Race Products.
Clan is a good thing.
Okay.
It's just that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
give Dominator Race Products a call at 419-923-6970 or check them out on their website, DominatorRaceProducts.com. You can also get their products from local reputable race shops such as Ron Miller Race Cars. They have all kinds of body components, I guess you could say, including the classic-looking Killer Z nose, the Dominator Outlaw nose kit for asphalt super late models. They have shaker screens, fan shrouds, modified valances, plastic late model spoilers. They
So you're saying that our friends at Dominator Race Products are selling body parts?
pretty much, yes.
Okay.
Yes. A lot of zombies around that area, too. It's crazy.
That's a touchy area out there.
Also got to mention Ron Miller Race Cars, Oakshade Raceway, and, of course, Freeze Frame Photos, who we'll be talking about here a little bit as well. They made this cool thing. We'll give you a close-up shot here a little bit later. Before we get to Mr. Craig Mintz, let's do our racing roundup and go over all the results from this past weekend's racing action.
Racing Roundup.
Plan. Attica Raceway Park, Friday night, Cap Henry picked up his 4th win of the season. You'll notice a theme here as we go through Attica's results. Cap Henry winning the 410, 4th win of the season. Devin Shields picking late model feature win. That was
just after being on the Hammer Down Racing Report.
Yes, and that was his 4th win of the season. That's right. He was on the night before.
He was.
Last Thursday. So thank you for continuing that trend for us. Jamie Miller won the 305 feature. And guess which feature win of the year that was for him?
I'm thinking 4th, if I had to guess.
There you go. 4th win for all those guys that won features at Attica last week. And I believe we're going to get Cap Henry back on the show next week.
Really?
It's been a while since we talked to him. He's had quite a successful year.
We had our first bowling meeting, hence the shirt, Greg Stillwell's shirt. And some of the guys there were whining that we haven't had any pavement racers on in a while. So,
well, doesn't Craig count tonight?
I would think he does. But that's why I wore the Greg Stillwell shirt. So
that's fair.
Now we can say that we've had a pavement racer on.
All right, that works for me. Continuing on, Rusty Schlenk picking up the late model win Saturday night at Oakshade Raceway. Ryan Davis, our guest a little bit later on, won the Sportsman feature, his 2nd win of the year. Bubba Kundick won the Dominator Superstock A main. Josh Bailey won the Compact A main. Jaden Blykamp won the Superstock B main, and Jason Deschler won the Compact B main.
How did Scott Hammer do in the?
He broke.
Oh yeah, that's right.
He broke and then got flipped off.
Really?
Yeah.
Somebody gave you the one finger salute?
After the car rolled to a stop there by the backstretch wall, somebody in the pit stands just giving me the bird. She looked pretty angry at me. I was like, yeah, I'm kind of pissed too.
I'm not pleased with this.
So, and apparently still working on that. I still haven't had my car back. Hopefully it's going to be done by this weekend. I got to go do some work after the show.
All the really tough stuff is done.
The rear end stuff isn't tough?
Nah.
All right.
Anybody can do that.
Flat Rock Speedway Saturday night. Speaking of Flat Rock, I ran into Gary Lindahl this afternoon.
Really?
Yeah, when I went to get my blood taken, he was there. I asked him how he was doing. He said he's doing well.
I think he's supposed to be back up in the tower this week.
He's been. He said he's been announcing back since May. So
really,
yeah, he looked good. Flat Rock Speedway Saturday night. Justin Schroeder picking up the super late model win. Jeremy Vanderhoof in the Street Stock A main, and Travis Early, figure 8 feature winner there. We might have to get Travis Early on because he's been a common theme. And then we could say we have an asphalt racer on again.
And we've had the rest of his family on.
There you go. Sandusky Speedway on Saturday. Preston Walker picking up the win in the modifieds. Trent Aslaskin won the Pure Stock feature. Will Slaughter, the National Compact Touring Series feature winner, and Haley Deegan was competing in that. She finished 5th in that Compact Touring Series feature.
Okay.
Butler Motor Speedway, J.J. Hickle, former guest on the show, picked up the win in the 410 sprints there at Butler and in the Great Lakes Super Sprints feature.
Really?
So good night for J.J.
Hickle. Double
header. Corey Bavard won the modified feature there. Fremont Speedway, Monday night, the fair race. Paul Weaver became the winningest driver at Fremont with his 77th feature win.
Ever.
at Fremont.
Right.
So congratulations to Paul. Lucas Oil Dirt Late Model Series, Comp Cam's Topless 100, Batesville Motor Speedway, Friday night, Ricky Thornton Jr. picking up the win. Saturday night in the main event, Dale McDowell picking up the $50,000 win there. World of Outlaw NOS Energy Drink Sprint Car Series, the AGCO Nationals at Jackson Motorplex. Thursday night, James McFadden picking up the win. Friday, James McFadden picking up the win. Saturday, not James McFadden picking up the win. It was Carson Macedo.
Oh.
The SRX Series wrapped things up last Thursday night at Lucas Oil Speedway. And guess who won in his very first start?
JD.
There you go. Jonathan Davenport picking up the win, showing him how to get it done on the dirt out there.
He embarrassed everybody. He really did. I was thrilled watching that race.
I was rooting for him.
It was fun to watch.
Probably fun racing against all those legends out there, too.
Oh, yeah.
Ryan Newman ended up finishing fourth in the race and won the SRX championship for this year. I read something where they're talking about, or Tony wants to expand that to more races in the future, like maybe 10 to 12, and maybe
a few more cars,
and go throughout the winter or something. Yeah, and some more cars. Yeah, I think it was like up to 20 cars. But
yeah. I think that'd be a good move.
They tweeted though they have the dates for next season already, and it's 6 dates, but no tracks yet. Starting, I think it's like mid to late July. Right. Pretty much the same time period they did it this year. Last 3 weekends in July and the first 3 weekends in August. So probably not going to expand next year, maybe the year after. They're probably taking all the year to repair all the cars from the Eldora race a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. That was pretty tough, yeah.
ARCA Menard Series action Friday night. Jesse Love picking up the General Tire 100 win at Watkins Glen after he bumped Connor Zilch on the last lap. And then Sunday, Brent Cruz won the Dutch Boy 100 at the Illinois State Fairgrounds, and he bumped Love out of the way on one of the last restarts. This is a common theme now. Is that racing? Is bumping people out of the way?
I sure hope not.
We'll have to get Craig's opinion on that here in just a second. NASCAR action this past weekend. Saturday, the Xfinity Series Watkins Glen race. Sam Mayer picking up the win after spinning out Ty Gibbs on a late restart. And William Byron picking up the win on Sunday in the Cup Series.
Yeah, he kind of smoked him.
Other notes, Friday night at I-96, they ran late models up there. Rusty Schlenk picking up the win there. So he had a good weekend, 2 wins this past weekend. And our Hammer Down clan, not fleet, we're going clan. Kurt Dickey finished 19th in the Superstock A main. John Young finished 5th in the B main at Oakshade. Colton Cox, 2nd at Palmyra on Friday night. And no report from the Coles, Dale Cole Jr. and Gary Cole, our latest addition to the Hammer Down clan.
No report from him.
No reports from either one. I don't think they race this weekend. So there you go. Contact Freeze Frame Photos for all your racing photo needs, from action shots to victory lane. They have custom magnets, can koozies, tumblers. Let's get rid of this. And where'd you go? Oh, there you go. There you are. Also, they do these cool little, actually it's got a little thing there. It's like a little Pac-Man mouth, but it's a coaster for your car. I think we were talking about this before. That's one they made for me there. So
it fits down in the cup holder?
Exactly. And it's got the little groove there. So if you need to take it out, you can stick your finger in there and pull it out.
Well, it's really well thought out, isn't it?
Absolutely. So, yeah, they make all kinds of custom items there with any picture you want on there. And at the time this was made, I didn't have my feature win photos, but I probably would have got those made.
So now you've got to order another?
I'm going to have to, I guess. Calendar is also very popular. It's about time to order your 2024 calendar. Pick 13, 14 photos because I think there's a cover, and then it also goes to January of 2025, so 12 months plus January. And you can pick whatever pictures you want for whatever month. And it doesn't have to be the same driver. You can get multiple drivers. You can, whatever you want to do.
Crash photos.
Sure. If you, there you go. A reminder of what not to do.
There you go, boys.
There you go. Call Charlie at 419-476-9978. Freeze frame photos, special moments frozen in time. And Ron Miller Race Cars. They fix broken things. When your car breaks, give Ron a call, 734-856-7223. For race cars, parts, safety equipment, service, drive shaft fixing, chassis fixing, everything a racer needs.
Yeah.
and if not, he can figure out where to get it fixed. So without further ado, let's bring in our first guest.
And that first guest would be Craig Mintz.
Craig.
How are you guys?
Hey, good, Craig.
How are you?
Another day in paradise, enjoying the view off my porch.
Is it a little warm out there?
It's a little toasty, but I'd rather have it warm than cold.
It's fair.
Yeah.
You get a lot of rain out there?
Yeah, we had 3 inches. So that's my view off my porch. So it's kind of nice to sit here at the evening.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Nice. So before we get to talking about the must-see race this past weekend, what's your opinion on this bump the guy that's in front of you out of the way to get the wind? I mean, what's your opinion on that?
I mean, it depends on the situation. Like I've raced a lot of indoor races, type of racing, or if you're on a tight racetrack, like let's just say, or places that that contact is going to be, and you're not going to get off the bottom. I'm not opposed to it. I'm not because in some sense that's the only way really to get by guys. But in my experiences, I've been in situations where I've been on the receiving end, and I've given those bumps to win. So, on those kind of situations, I think it's okay because it's expected. On places that are bigger or you can find another way around, I'm not a fan of. I'm not a fan of moving somebody out of the way when you have another way around. And that's kind of it's scenario based for me. It's not a judgment call, but I think the driver knows when you don't need to do it and when you do need to do it, and when you don't need to do it, you do it anyway. It was on purpose.
So with the sprint cars, I'm guessing the bump and run is kind of a little bit more difficult because you got a much smaller target there.
Yeah, the bump and run on the sprint cars only happens. I've only seen it happen a couple times, and it's only when you go to a place that may take rubber, and we're following each other around the bottom. That would be the only time I would ever see it, and most of the time that never even happens. It's more somebody gets underneath you and kind of gives you the Nerf bar and kind of moves you up out of the rubber. We don't get to do that. Matter of fact, we were kind of having a conversation this weekend while we were at Lorain. We seen cars with fenders on them, and me and Mike Linder somebody or go in and use them as the brakes type thing, just because our entire life we've never been able to do that, and we kind of giggled and says our crew guys would be replacing fenders off of our cars weekly.
So is this your first time on the asphalt this past weekend?
No, so I ran a couple 305 races many years ago. I would say 2002, 3, and 4, around in them areas at Sandusky when they had that 305 class. And then we ran at Lorain in 2019 to 20. I can't remember the year. It was right during COVID because I remember we had to have so many cars through the trailer type thing. So it wasn't our first time. It was the first time with this race car. It was the first time, doing what we did. We had went and tried to figure out how we can make a dirt car because, Ron was actually right. We did take a dirt car.
Was it? Okay.
So it's a dirt car with a few Linder craft ideas. And we could take that car, put a different front axle in it, bolt 4 dirt tires on it, and go to Attica. So it's much different than any of the other cars that were there. So it was kind of special to be able to do what they did.
So
did you take it kind of dirty so that they knew where the car came from?
Oh yeah, the wing. I mean, there was still World of Outlaw stickers on the side wings.
There we go.
There was Awesome to Drink logo, the All Stars on it. My helmet had duct tape on it from the chips out of it, and so had dirt on it. So it wasn't we didn't go there with this pristine car. You definitely knew we were dirt racers.
That's pretty cool.
So is that because it was a dirt car? Is that did that help you get the fast time?
No, I don't know. I mean, the weird part about it is, we went there just to be competitive and be, to run with those guys. And those guys are good. You got, Bobby Santos and Jimmy McCune and Hamilton. Those guys are really good. And for us to take a dirt car, we just wanted to go and compete and be able to race with them. And we hit a really good lap early on. And we have found that when we go over there, we're really good until the sun goes down. When the sun goes down, we have to get better at it. And we don't know what that is yet, because, we're with we don't know what this does or that does, when it does, the racetrack changes, and we're still trying to adjust to it. I mean, I ran 39 laps behind Bobby Santos within inches of him, so I didn't feel like we were way off. But it just, drawing an 8, you just can't give Jimmy McCune a quarter of a track or half a track in front of you and expect to run him down, especially in a dirt car. So I was just as fast as the guys in front of me, and Jason Blond and those guys are right in front of me, and it just, that Lorain is different. Lorain's hard to pass, and we kind of got in line and did that. We got underneath a couple guys, we got near some guys, but unfortunately there wasn't enough race cars, to really lap. I don't think that we only lapped 2 guys. So, a lot of times you weren't really out of line. So, I had an absolute blast. I told the guys that I would love to do a full season on pavement, because it's a completely different than what I'm used to. And I've had an absolute ball doing it.
That was actually one of my questions. Are we losing a dirt guy to the asphalt?
No, I'm definitely not. I mean, I'm so committed to dirt that I don't think I could take all my equipment and flip-flop it. But there have been some talks with Rich Farmer and myself and a couple guys that, whether we build a must-see, a 410 car, or we build one of those lights. They've made that division so economic that it's feasible to run. I mean, the tires, are $110, $120 cheaper than our dirt car tires. That last longer. And I beat them up. I mean, I was trying to hurt those tires in the feature time, and we can run them again. And so there's a kind of came off of, because it's just different, something that we had fun. I mean, we ran 7th, and for us that wasn't our goal. I mean, our goal was a top 3 or top 5, but I can tell you the guys that we were around we had more fun that night than we did probably most of the season.
Would a better redraw have helped you at all?
I think so. I felt like I was just as fast. I probably wasn't as fast as McCune, and maybe that, but I felt like I was just as fast as, the 6th place finisher or the other guys. I felt like I was faster than Swan or, a Blonde and those guys. Once you got to them, there was nothing you could do about it. And, waited for a mistake, and those guys don't make mistakes. On dirt, it's a little easier to make a mistake when you're banging up against cushion or one lane dominant on the bottom to middle of the racetrack. So we weren't quite good enough to make a lot of passes, but I felt like if we'd have redrew a 6, we'd have ran 5th. We'd have redrew a 4th, we'd have probably ran 4th. I'm pretty confident that we would have maintained the speed that was needed to stay there.
Going to Berlin this weekend?
No, we're not. We wanted to kind of see how this weekend went, and start of the season, I put a pretty strict schedule together for myself, my family, and we're going camping this weekend over in Indiana, and so my family's over there. So I bought a camper for my wife 3 or 4 years ago, and up until we used it a couple times, and I had decided it was time that we were going to actually use the investment of the camper and my kids get a chance to enjoy it. So, next year, I know we had talked about that some more pavement races are going to be on the schedule. And I've actually had a few phone calls from a few of the guys that were there, a few of the teams that said, well, we may have a second car and you'd be interested in running it and be something that I'd look forward to and seeing how I could, hold up. And I'd like to go to some place that's a little bigger and see how I can hold up against those guys.
So what about the rest of this year? Anything left on your schedule?
Yeah. So we go the 2-day All-Star show at Attica coming up, and then the Jim Ford Classic. So we have 4 nights left. So for us, it's kind of winding down, but that's kind of good for us. My guys they're not tired, but you start getting at the end of the season, and stuff gets starting to get worn out, and everybody gets tired, and it's it's time to start looking at next year and getting things ready, and we've already. Yeah, we got wings already in-house for next year. We got cars, bodies. We're getting front axles. We kind of take the end of near Knoxville time and past that to start rebuilding for the next year. So we like to have our race cars done Thanksgiving by Christmas area. At least have all the parts ready to go back on it. That way we're not trying to add to the kind of those, as well as every other team in the country.
So you're gonna be back. That'll be in the 09 Real Geese Decoys car.
Yeah, so I'll run my own stuff. Farmer was just nice enough to, and Ray Brooks of Gill Construction, nice enough to put this deal together, and that was a Jim Linder built car from like the probably early 2000s. That he had built, that we pulled out of a barn in the back that didn't have a body on it. And it was a car that we thought would work, but we had no idea. So it's kind of a crazy ordeal what we put together. And Jim Linder, Mike Linder, and Steven Linder, the brains went to work. And we got a lot of praise, and those guys should, because what we did by taking a 4-bar car with 4 regular shocks to go compete with some of those, basically built for pavement cars, to be able to compete with those guys, to be able to set quick time, I think says something about what those guys can do with a race car.
Well, and that's pretty cool. It's sort of a throwback to an era where the car didn't know where it was. You just went and raced it.
Yeah, and, we kind of had a reminiscence back of the old, what was 8 or 9 pavement. I think that's a really cool deal. I wish they did something like that, because it'd be something I felt like you could be really good at, or our team could be really good at, especially if they made you race the same race car within both of them. But the world is different than it is now. But I can tell you, the must-see people were amazing. They were very welcoming. Helped us because we were fish out of water. We're not used to that pavement stuff. We're not used to the 2 hot lap sessions, and it's different. And they were very welcoming, very like, hey, this is what you got to do here. And everybody a part of that group, even the racers, were, hey, this is what you got to do. And Jim McCune's run dirt, and he kind of compare it to, okay, this is this race and of your dirt, and you kind of get that, and we were very appreciative of that.
Well, and you could give him a few pointers too, so
yeah, that goes both ways.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we talked a little bit about dirt, and I know Jimmy's really excited to get back on dirt, and I'm excited to see him on dirt, because the guy can wheel a race car. So it takes a little while to get up to that part of it, and just that we kind of joked at when we were there at the pavement race that oh man, they must be cutting the cushion off, or maybe they're widening the racetrack type thing, and we got to adjust to this, and there's nothing to do. It's just you got to adjust to the temperature, and I'm not used to worrying about temperatures of racetracks, and is it getting slimy, or is it getting sticky, or that. I'm just used to, is there a cushion or is there not a cushion? That's basically it.
Early on, you mentioned that you had run some indoor shows. I assume those were pavement. Do you think that helped you at all?
I think so. I mean, it's something that a long time ago, I ran a lot of go-karts. I ran a lot of pavement stuff. I actually was into shifter carts and those kinds of things back when I was really young. So I've ran a lot of stuff on pavement. Was stuff in the Ivy runs. Those little midgets indoors and those kinds of things. So
Sure.
I've done those, and I've enjoyed it. But I've always wanted to try to see how far I could go on the asphalt path. I would like to get in some other stuff, because of there's something about pavement, and it sounds odd because everybody likes to go the opposite way, and I want to go back that way because it fits my driving style a little bit easier. I'm getting older, so that curb and the roughness that some of the dirt tracks you get is just not meant for me anymore. It's something that I was to be able to do that.
If Jimmy can jump from pavement to dirt and dirt back to pavement, I'm sure you can too.
Yeah.
So is at some point in the future, do you foresee yourself going strictly asphalt racing?
No, I don't think I'll ever go strictly. I think that I would like to run it for a season. Like, I think I would like to, if somebody gave me an opportunity or I had help fund or do some kind of, I would love to try a full season. Just to go see different places, Birch Run or some places that I thought would be fun. And right now our team is not fitted to do that yet. We're not fitted to go up and down the road. And if we destroy a race car, so if we destroyed a car in a heat race at Lorain, we were going home. We don't have that yet. It would take another team to really be able to help me get on that way. But for me to quit dirt racing, I think it would have to be a substantial amount of money to get from it. Still enjoy dirt racing, slowing down. Not racing as much because I think in the next year or two, my son's going to be in wheeling something, whether it's some kind of quarter midget or some kind of that. I believe that's coming. We're still going to do racing. Kind of like Byron Reed career at the end of it. He shows up at these big races, takes the money and leaves. He was really good at that. And something that I hope that someday I'm able to be, half the race car driver he was and is. And it's, kind of sad to see him, going out. But something that, something I want to do. I want to, like this year, we're going to run 20 to 25 races a year. And that's plenty. It kind of killed us a little bit is driving all the way out to Knoxville to watch it rain. But we got to go to Port Royal this year. I got my guys to see that. We went to Lernerville. We went to Sharon a couple times. So some of my guys, all my crew have never seen anything outside of Attica and Fremont. So to be able to watch them, roll into Port Royal and see something different was well worth the 8 or 9 hour drive. What
about an IndyCar ride? Would you be entertain that?
I would.
Would you give up the dirt for that?
Oh, 100%. But
okay.
I feel like I'm pretty old, and it's not going to happen. So my biggest thing, one that I would love to do yet is the little Indy. Get me something like that. I would love to do that. I would love to run a champ car or Silver Crown car on a big mile. Something like that, I think I would love to do. The pavement part of it, I asked those guys, I said it, told them it doesn't scare me as like it does in the dirt stuff, and I don't know why. The speed is there, you can definitely still feel it, but it's just different. And I'd like to try something like that. I mean, I've always felt like pavement was something that I could have pursued, and just dirt was calling my name, and I had an absolute blast doing it. But now that I've had the opportunity to last probably 2 or 3 years to run some more pavement sprint car stuff, I would like to pursue it, later on in my life.
How about you hook up with Rich and do the little 500 at Anderson next May? Yeah,
little 500, little Indy as we call it. I would love to do it. It's something that we've talked about, but those cars aren't cheap, to build for a couple nights, and it's something we've wanted to look up and hook up with the team next year and be able to where I can help, get a car to the racetrack and be able to do that. They can help us get there, and then be able to do it. It's something, again, that I would love to try and be able to do and say that I've knocked it off my bucket list. Between that and the Knoxville Nationals, those are the two that I would love to do as my career's kind of, winding down.
Winding down. Look at Ron.
Yeah.
I mean, you have like 50 more years, I think.
I don't know about that.
Well, we got to get moving here, Craig. We always appreciate the time. Good luck in the All-Star races at Attica coming up. and at the Jim and Joanne Ford Classic coming up at Fremont.
Well, I appreciate it, and hopefully you guys have a good night, and enjoy the show as always.
All right. Thanks, Craig.
Thanks, Craig.
There you go. Craig Mintz. 410 sprint car ace on dirt and asphalt now.
That's
apparently.
pretty amazing. It really is.
It's pretty cool. Stick around because we have Ryan Davis waiting in the wings here. We'll bring him on in just a moment. Before we do that, though, just a little bit of racing news to cover. Sponsored by Oakshade Raceway. We're the fastest meet to race. Check them out at oakshaderaceway.com. Follow them on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, or TikTok. This weekend is season championship night. And there's some pretty close championship battles.
Really?
In a few of the classes there. So, yeah. Full show, Dominator Super Stocks, Sportsman, late models, compacts, full show. Gates open at 4,
I haven't
racing
looked at their
7.
points. How's the late model points shaking out?
Devin Shields, he
broke.
He broke, and that cost him some points. And I believe Colin Shipley is now second. He's jumped over Dusty Moore for second. Dusty Moore fell to third, but they're both closer in points to Devin now. I think it's like 30 or something. 20.
Okay.
I mean, Devin's still got a pretty good cushion there, but
he can't do another.
No, he
DNF.
can't have another one of those nights that he had this past weekend. I mean, Attica, he did good, so he kept our mojo going.
Mojo going, absolutely.
But also coming up, the Dominator Super Stock Spectacular. Again, that was moved from September 23rd to September 16th, moved up a week because of this Showdown Series event that's coming up on the final Saturday of September, September 30th, as a matter of fact. And that is... I've heard how much that's going to pay to win. I don't know if that's been announced yet, so I'm not allowed to say, but it's going to be nice.
It will be significant.
It will, and we're going to have Corey on in a few weeks to talk more about the Oakshade event and the Fremont event. That's with the Fremont dirt trucks.
I'm looking forward to those. I really am.
And factory stocks competing with the super stocks. So, yeah, it should be pretty cool. Let's do a little bit of racing news here, and then we'll talk to Mr. Ryan Davis.
Latest racing news.
Big on the screen there. That was weird.
Oh,
it's because Craig left. Logan Seavey made USAC history on Saturday.
Really?
Yeah, he won 2 races at 2 different tracks in 2 different cars.
Really?
He won the Bettenhausen 100 for the Silver Crown cars at the Illinois State Fairgrounds on Saturday afternoon, and then he traveled to Macon Speedway and won the Midget Series feature on Saturday night.
Well, that's a pretty tough deal.
Yeah, pretty cool deal. Ashley Albertson, some sad news here, raced dirt cars for Tony Stewart Racing. She has 2 wins in the All-Star Circuit of Champions TQ Midget Series, including one earlier this season. Albertson and her fiancé, Jake Kelly, were involved in a highway crash on I-65 on Friday. The couple were returning from a vacation in the Gulf Shores. According to a police report, two vehicles sped up in an apparent road rage incident. Austin Cooper changed lanes, and the 2 cars collided. A 2018 GMC Terrain driven by Kelly began rolling across the highway. 4 people were transported to a hospital following the crash. Albertson has since passed due to injuries. She was 24 years old.
That's sad.
Yeah. Not even, it's accident, but not even a racing accident.
Right.
Not that would make it any better, but still crazy stuff there. Bowman Gray. It's like we're talking about this every week or every other week.
What more do you need to say?
It's like the WWE of short track racing anymore. And again, this past weekend, there were some more. Tommy Neal and Amber Lynn got together racing the Sportsman 100 lap feature. Tommy Neal ended up going through the pit exit and crashed into some water barrels and concrete jersey barriers. Lynn hit the tires there at the end of the wall. Neal went semi-berserk after the incident.
Amber Lynn is a good racer there. She's fun to watch.
Yeah, he tried to, this isn't in the video we're going to show you, but he tried to steal one of the track gators that were in the infield. The video that we're going to show has that part cut out, but then he later threw his water bottle at Amber Lynn's car, under the yellow, and for some reason,
better than throwing your helmet.
it was. But it was an interesting, pretty spectacular deal. Here's what transpired. Check it out.
Great battle here at Bowman Gray Stadium. The fans are on their feet. Oh, contact between the two drivers. Tommy Neal slams into the water barrel. Head on into the water barrel.
And it's hard to say, even after the replay,
goes to number
which
21
is coming up
Tommy
shortly.
Neal. This is a great angle here. You see Tommy Neal moving up. Amber Lynn starting to dive down, makes right rear contact to Neal's machine, sends her into the wall. And then Tommy Neal's got it locked up at that point, and he goes straight into the pit exit right there and into the water barrels. My gosh, what a ferocious impact there. There is Tommy and his wife on the track. Not happy. Don't know why his wife's out there.
Amber Lynn's car had more damage, too.
you cut off the end. That was favorite part was at the end. Was not sure what his wife's doing out there too. That was the best part.
And I'm sure that nobody got suspended or punished.
I don't. It was the last race of the season for them, as far as I know. So yeah. And finally, GMS Racing will cease operations of its Craftsman Truck Series team at the conclusion of the season. They have accomplished 2 truck championships and 3 ARCA championships and 68 wins.
And they're folding. Money's
expensive. Money's expensive? I'm not sure that's correct. How about we bring in our next guest in? He's been waiting patiently here. Ryan Davis, how's it going?
Good. How you guys doing?
Wonderful.
Good. Let's bring you over here. First off, I want to say congratulations on your second feature win this year on Saturday night.
Thank you.
Yeah. Usually our guests go on to win the night after, so you've got a tough deal. You're going to have to do a 2 in a row now.
Hopefully.
Ryan, where did you come from? All of a sudden, you've just jumped onto the scene and you're winning races, which is unusual. How did all that happen?
I'd never been in a dirt car or any race car at all until last season. That was my first time ever being in a car, but I've always been a spectator since I was a little kid. Been going to Oakshade since the late 80s.
A lot of people don't know that you have a physical issue that would probably sideline most racers. What can you tell us about that?
I was born without the lower half of my right arm, and I don't know. I never really let it slow me down, or at least
obviously
try
on that.
Yeah, obviously. So, anything different in your car because of that? I mean,
yeah. Well, my car actually has a hand clutch, which I had to move that so I could reach it with my short arm and pull it with my elbow, and then I had to lengthen a rod on the high-low shifter so I could shift from low to high. But other than that, that's pretty much it.
So how did you go from spectator to getting in a race car last season?
I mean, I've always wanted to drive one, and I pretty much figured no one's going to let a one-handed guy drive the race car. So I had to go buy my own. And then when I bought the car, my dad and my brother were on board. And so that's how we got the new car this season, which is a 2017, and the one with the original car we had was a 2001. So it's definitely an
big
upgrade.
Step up there.
Yeah, for sure.
So do they have any racing background? I mean, to be able to make that car so fast?
My dad raced in 90 and 91, and we just always been around the track. And then we had Chris Keller help us set it up at the beginning of the year. And my brother, he's the one that pretty much does the tweaking on it, week to week.
Chris would be a good resource.
Yeah.
Chris is great. He's a great guy.
So you run your own equipment then. New car this year, 2 wins already this season. I mean, what were your expectations at the beginning of the season? Have you exceeded that with these 2 wins?
Oh yeah, just to get the first one was great, and then now that I got a second one, obviously we want to keep going, but there's some stiff competition out there.
Well, and Saturday's win was pretty dominating. I was impressed.
Yeah, my brother, he did some changes to the car, and obviously it was the right direction because the car was sticking to the track. It hooked up real good.
So I'm sure some of our listeners are going to be asking, when you drive, do you just strictly drive with your left hand, or does your right hand help at all? Or your right
The
arm?
only time I'll put my right arm on there is when I need to take a tear off, when I need to grab one of those. Then I'll just kind of grip it with my elbow down either the front stretch or back stretch. If I'm not racing hard with anyone, then I can, control the car pretty good doing that.
Well, here's a secret. If you're out front, you don't need to pull as many tear-offs.
I've learned
that seems to be the case.
I've learned that. That is true. So you've not only run that car as a sportsman, you run a couple late model races. I saw Attica and at least Wayne County. Anywhere else you've run that as a late model?
I haven't run that car anywhere else. We ran last year at the end of the year at Montpelier and Kokomo.
Okay.
I didn't do very good at Kokomo. I ended up crashing, so I didn't make the feature. But Montpelier, I did okay. It wasn't bad. I think I qualified 4th overall, and that was the first time I had late model tires on it. And I think I finished 12th or 13th in the feature.
How different does that feel with the late model tires as compared to the 8-inch tires?
It's a lot easier to drive, actually. You go faster, but it's easier to maneuver.
Things happen a lot quicker.
Oh yeah, for sure. But I don't know. It's just with the bigger tires, it's a little smoother if the track has a little character, and it's just easier to maneuver the car.
Well, maybe this weekend you put some late model tires on it and just happen to forget to take them off. Not that I would recommend that. So it looks like you've missed a couple weekends at Oakshade.
Yeah, a few weeks ago, we had a company outing at work, and my boss took us to Vegas. So
tough job.
Yeah, I mean it was 112 degrees out there. But,
oh yeah, I forgot.
But I could handle it.
Well, I was looking at the points, and I saw you were further down outside the top 5. I expected you to be in the top 5, and then I noticed that you had missed at least a night or two. Any plans next year of running for the championship?
I mean,
we've been tossing around the idea. I mean, if we're going to run late model, we'll probably have to get a different motor because we're underpowered. But I'm thinking we'll probably end up running Sportsman next year just so I can be, another year in the car and get a little more used to it. But I definitely like hitting a few late model shows here and there.
Gotcha. So why did you go with the Sportsman to start off with as opposed to a compact or
street stock?
Yeah,
super stock.
Well, I saw a car for sale online. Actually, Donovan Paskin was selling it.
Oh.
And so it was a pretty good deal. So I ended up getting that. And that was the 2000 Rocket that I first started with.
Gotcha.
And what kind of chassis are you in right now?
It's a 17 Swartz.
Okay. Hence the hand clutch.
Yep. I never knew they ever put hand clutches in cars until I saw that. I had to ask what it was.
Only Audi Schwartz.
I didn't know that.
Yep.
I don't think I've ever actually seen a hand. I'm going to have to come look at your car because no, you don't have it in there. Or do you? You took it out, didn't you?
No, he's got the hand clutch.
It's still in there?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'll have to come down.
I actually prefer it over the foot clutch, oddly enough.
Huh.
Yeah, but you got both feet, dude.
I know. It's weird. So I thought the same thing. I thought it was going to be hard to do, and it's actually easier.
Ryan, I don't want to embarrass you, but could you show all of our fans, all of our listeners, your arm so that they know what we're talking about? And it's just below the elbow, correct?
Yep. I got it probably 3-4 inches below my elbow.
It truly is amazing. Obviously, since you were that way from birth, your left hand is your dominant hand or arm.
Yeah, of course, yeah. And obviously, growing up in a right-hand dominant world is always a little more difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah, my brother always complains he's left-handed.
My kid does.
Southpaw. It's crazy. Anyway,
Steve's left-handed.
not that I mean, obviously that's nobody would even know that was an issue for you with the way
Watching
you've been
you
driving.
race, nobody would ever know that there was any kind of an issue at all, Ryan. That's what makes your whole story so amazing.
Yeah, a lot of people think I use the little knob on the steering wheel. I've thought about it, but I mean, I can with the quick steering, you really don't even need that.
Yeah, Ron with his hurt shoulder, I offered him to take my car out for hot laps, and he said not unless I put a knob on the steering wheel.
That's it.
He can't even handle it. But
I had shoulder replacement surgery a couple months ago, and it doesn't work well enough to hop in a race car.
Oh goodness. So what's your long-term plans in racing? I mean, is this something you plan to do for a while, or was it just kind of dabbling in it? You've been a long-time race fan. Now you're a racer and a winning racer.
I mean, I'm hooked. As long as I can do it, I'll do it. But, and obviously it's, very expensive. So as long as we can afford it, I'll keep racing. It's a lot of fun. It's the most fun I've ever had in my life.
I agree.
You get hooked on that adrenaline.
Sportsman, I mean, late model, would that be probably like as high as you'd want to get? Or, I mean, do you have any aspirations to run a sprint car or get into any other kind of racing?
No, late model was pretty much always my dream car to be able to do that. Now that I've done it, and I'd like to keep doing it, obviously, but, getting a different motor and then, something a little more horsepower. Hopefully that can come down the line.
You've got the family support. Why don't you talk to us about some of your sponsors?
Oh, my sponsors, they help out so much. My Green Borders is where I work. My boss, he lent us a truck to pull the car down to the track last year. That's what I pulled the car with, was one of our work trucks. And HL Green Machine Moving, he's gave us a lot of money. Foster's Concrete, he's helped us out. And then Chris Keller, CCR Racing, he helps us out. We talk to him, 3-4 times a week, and he's been great. And then Waltz Concrete, it's my brother-in-law and my sister's company. They do concrete. So they, it's definitely a team effort for sure.
Who's going to win the Sportsman Championship on Saturday?
I think it's going to be tough to beat Josh Robertson. He's really consistent, and he's a great driver.
And
I think he'll pull it off. Carter Schlink is, that kid's amazing. I mean, he can drive. You wouldn't think there was a 12-year-old in there. I know that.
Oh, that's it's pretty amazing, both of them. And Carter's been driving with collarbone injury, not broken, but an injury this past weekend. So, that would be horrible. I could imagine putting a harness on over my collarbone.
I thought, man, all he's got to do is bump something. Yeah.
And the track had character, so I mean, you're moving around a lot, I'm sure. But so this weekend, win number 3 for you, right?
I'm hoping so. If everything goes right, draw a good number, you can stay clean, stay up front. That definitely helps a lot.
All right, you just got to keep that P33 and that 91 car behind you.
Yeah, and that's the tough part. You can't really make a whole lot of mistakes, or they'll get past you. One of them will.
Good redraw. That's all. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, there's a lot of fast drivers in the Sportsman class this year. You got Colin Schilt as well up there in the top 5 in his rookie season. You said you raced a few times last year. Technically, you're still a rookie this year, right?
No, I raced full season last year.
Did you? Okay.
Yeah.
You would think sitting up in the tower.
You'd think that,
yeah,
but
well.
I miss most of the Sportsman features, unfortunately. Right. So that's my excuse. I'm going with that. This year, though, I mean, you've seen that 2-car out there, and it's like he's a winner. So been fun watching you, and good luck again on the rest of the season. Are you gonna run out the rest of the season at Oakshade then? Any other tracks you're gonna hit?
Yeah, I think we might go to Kokomo for the Kokomo Clash. We might go down there for that, but that's after Oakshade's done, I'm pretty sure.
Okay. September 6th, that race at Fremont. The late models will be there
October 6th.
October 6th. Yeah, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
And that'd be a fun place, and I don't think there's anything competing against it.
That's the steel block show?
No, sir.
It's
UMP late model rules. I don't believe it's going to be a late model points race.
But UMP rules.
The Oakshade super stocks and the Fremont trucks will be the headline division, and the late models will be there as field fillers. But it's still a good paying event.
When was the last time late models have been there? Was it an American Late Model Series event? I mean,
Boy,
not the steel block, but
I think so. And I was there, so I'll bet it's been 15 years, Scott.
So there you go. You could race against the old man here.
Oh, that'd be great.
And
I've been watching Ron most of my life.
And I'll be back in the car by then.
All right. There you go. Mark that on your calendar. October 6th, Fremont Speedway. It's Friday night.
All right.
Ryan, it's been great talking to you. Looking forward to seeing you again this weekend.
Thank you so much. Thanks for being so straightforward and giving our listeners an insight into your challenges. Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys.
We'll see you.
Bye. Yep, see ya.
There you go. Ryan Davis, fresh off his second Sportsman feature win this past Saturday night at Oakshade, and looking for more. I just made this full screen. I'm getting click happy, Ron. Sorry about that. Got some Big D's Pizza to give away here in just a little bit. Oh, you know what? I didn't check the Hammer Down hotline. I don't think there was anything on there, though. But
if you called or text us, we're sorry.
Yeah. But feel free to call, text anytime right there, 419-318-3081, 419-318-3081. Call or text anytime, day or night. Give us your opinion on that Bowman Gray crash or whatever. As long as it's racing related, we'll play it back, read it back if it's a text.
Yeah.
Next week on the show. Let's do some pizza giveaway. How's that sound?
Sounds good.
How many?
So last week's how many was how many 305s were going to be at Fremont Speedway for the fair race on Monday. The number was 32. And Ron, guess what number you said?
32?
Yeah.
Really?
You said 32. I said 31. And only one of our listeners hit it right on the head there at 32 was Matt Swander. And he said to donate the pizza to Ron's retirement party. So congratulations, Ron. You are the recipient of this week's. That pizza's
going to be really stale by the time that
big
deal comes around.
So,
but thank you so much, Matt.
This week's how many and a chance to win a Big D's Pizza is how many All-Star Circuit of Champion competitors are going to be at Butler on Saturday night.
And I got to go first.
You do, yes. I'll stall for you. If you'd like a chance to win a Big D's Pizza, put your guess in the comments. Just put a number in the comments, all you have to do, of our Facebook Live or YouTube Live. You have until Saturday at 4 o'clock Eastern. Sunday, 4 p.m. Eastern to get your guess in. So if you're listening to us on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, whatever, you can find our Facebook Live video. It'll still be on
Scott,
our Facebook.
I'm thinking that.
Oh, did you want me to switch back over to the comments so you can see what people are guessing?
No, I think.
Look at that.
I think it's going to be a big number because Butler runs their own 410s.
They do.
And those guys will be there. Plus, you're going to get the All-Star guys coming in. I'm thinking 38 cars, man.
Nancy Schoenauer said 38 as well.
Ooh, good job, Nance.
I'm going to go 37.
Oh, yeah.
37 is going to be my pick there. I don't know, but I think it'll be right in that area. I think you're not too far off. 35 to 38, I think.
Assuming the weather-man doesn't jump up and bite us this evening.
Well, yeah, and it should be good Saturday. It's
Saturday will be fine.
We got to get through tonight.
If there hasn't been too much damage already done.
Keep our heads above water. Yeah, have you heard anything from Sandusky? I meant to reach out to Chris Mize because I know they got hit pretty hard, at least with the rain last night.
Real hard.
So hopefully everything's okay there because they got a free show this weekend.
Yeah.
Speaking of which,
Kevin said the place was a mess, but he didn't. That was all I had heard.
See, I saw that too. I wasn't sure if he was talking his own place or if he was talking about the Speedway. But
Well, if anybody has any insight on Sandusky, let us know.
Yeah, and here's what's coming up this weekend.
This weekend's racing menu.
Tomorrow night, Friday night, Attica Raceway Park. It's Columbus Equipment Central Ohio Farmers Night with the 410 Sprints, the Attica Oakshade Late Model Challenge Series, 305s, and gates open at 5, racing at 7:45. General admission, $20 there at Attica tomorrow night.
I wonder how much the All-Stars being at Butler will hurt. Well, that's Saturday.
That's Saturday. And Fremont's off. So
Yeah, that's right.
So they could get even more cars with Fremont being off.
Yeah,
Didn't
that's
even
true.
think about that. I should have went higher because I might get Fremont cars. Thanks, Dave. Just as I figured that out on my own. Saturday night, Flat Rock Speedway Season Championship night with the Outlaw Super Late Models, Figure 8 Street Stocks, and a 250-lap Enduro race. Gates open at 4:30, and heads up if you're going to Flat Rock because racing will start an hour earlier.
At 6.
6 o'clock is green flag time at Flat Rock on Saturday. General admission there, $20. Oakshade Raceway, also season championship night. And it's the finale of the Oakshade Attica Late Model Challenge Series. Full show of Late Model Sportsman, Dominator Super Stocks, Compacts. Gates open at 4, racing at 7. General admission, $14 at Oakshade. Sandusky Speedway, it's the Showdown in Sandtown Challenge, featuring the Pure Stock Challenge, the All-American Iron, Renegades, and Beginner Stocks. Gates open at 4, racing at 7. General admission, free. They do a lot of free shows.
They do.
That is pretty cool. Butler Motor Speedway, it's the 3rd annual Mace Thomas Classic, featuring the Teslos All-Star Circuit of Champions, Street Stocks, and 4-cylinders. Gates open at 4:30, racing at 7:30 at Butler. General admission tickets there, $30 for that special show. Other series action this weekend, the Melvin L. Joseph Memorial at Georgetown Speedway in Delaware for Lucas Oil guys starts tonight, August 24th. And then it's the Rumble by the River at Port Royal Speedway in Pennsylvania, Friday and Saturday, the 25th and 26th. So three races.
Still a lot of racing.
2 tracks. Teslas All-Star Circuit of Champions, Tri-City Motor Speedway in Auburn, Michigan on Friday night. And then, of course, as we just mentioned, at Butler on Saturday, World of Outlaw Case Construction Equipment Late Model Series, the My Place Hotel Quad Cities 150 at Davenport Speedway. That is tonight through Saturday. And I do recall seeing they pushed back the start time tonight to 7:30 local time.
Could be.
I think because of the heat.
Yeah.
So make sure to check. If you're tuning in for that a little early and wondering what's going on, it's because they pushed things back due to the heat there at Davenport. Let's see, World of Outlaw NOS Energy Drink Sprint Series, second leg of the Northern Tour. They're going to be at River City Speedway in Grand Forks, North Dakota on Friday, and duel in the Dakotas at Red River Valley Speedway. That'll be on Saturday night. ARCA Menard Series back in action for the Spreaker 150 at the Milwaukee Mile. And so I always forget the Milwaukee Mile is even still a thing.
Right.
Is ARCA the only one that races there anymore?
Probably.
Okay. I remember the, what's now the Xfinity Series used to
Right.
race there, and IndyCar used to race there. I don't know that either of them go there anymore.
Dave, help us out.
I only
with
remember
that.
this because it was on my racing game from like 2000 or something. But ARCA Menard Series will be at the Milwaukee Mile Sunday at 1 o'clock. That race will be on FS1. The NTT IndyCar Series will be racing the Bommarito Automotive Group 500 at Worldwide Technology Raceway Sunday starting at 3 o'clock. That race will be on NBC. That's out there in St. Louis. The NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series, Clean Harbors 175. They're going to be at the Milwaukee Mile Speedway on Sunday as well. That race will be at 4 o'clock on FS1. Xfinity Series and the Cup Series, both at Daytona. A couple of night races. The Wawa 250 for the Xfinity Series on Friday night starting at 7:30 on USA. And then the Coke Zero Sugar 400 at Daytona for the Cup Series Saturday night at 7 p.m. on NBC.
What is Wawa?
I don't know.
I do.
Okay, what is it?
It's a chain of service stations or gas
That's right,
stations.
I did know that.
And they're really big down south.
Did they have Wawa? In case you get thirsty?
Maybe.
Okay.
We didn't mention, or actually we did a little bit earlier on, that the must-see cars will be at Berlin Raceway up in Marne, Michigan this weekend.
There you go. So what's our weekend weather pit stop look like for this weekend?
It's going to rain tonight. It's going to rain a little bit tomorrow morning. As long as the tracks don't take too much water, there's not going to be any problem. The weather's going to cool down. Everything's going to be just fine as long as they can get by the next 12 hours.
Last time I looked at the radar, there wasn't anything on there, but it was supposed to be blowing up or something.
Yep, that's what
coming
they said.
through tonight.
11, 12 o'clock.
Oh, yeah, there's some stuff happening up there.
It certainly happened last night, Scott.
It did. I heard it. It woke me up, and that's why I'm exhausted today. And now I got to go work on some race car stuff. So
you do.
With that, we're going to get out of here. Next week on the show, I believe we're going to be talking to Cap Henry for the first time this season. We'll talk about, he's been on a tear at both Fremont and Attica this year. I believe he's leading the Attica Fremont Championship Series as well. So he's got a lot going on. And in a different ride this year than he has been in the past. So,
well, it seems to be working quite nicely.
It seems to be a good fit for him. So we'll talk to him next week. Thanks to our associate producer, Dave Kemmer, contributors John Young, Bob Stazak. Make sure to like us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter at Hammer Report, or X, whatever it is. Twitter, formerly X, formerly known as Twitter. I think that's what everybody's calling it now.
Yeah.
That's what all the cool kids are saying. Follow us on YouTube. That's still the same name, still YouTube. Listen to us on your favorite podcasting platform, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Wawa is a Waffle House restaurant, according to Dean Henry.
Oh, all right. Well, I know because I have seen big Wawa gas stations, so yeah.
We will do some investigative reporting and have some behind the scenes on Wawa. We'll get to the bottom of it.
But if anybody should know about restaurants, it'd be Dean Henry.
That's true. Check us out at hammerdownracingreport.com. You can listen to shows there. Want to be a sponsor? That information is there. Everything is there. Make sure to rate and review us as well. Share us with your friends. Write a review. We appreciate it. It's been a while since anybody's really written a review for us, but I understand it takes effort.
We're worth it, though.
Yeah.
I mean, we're here every week, 295 shows.
People just think that we're just crazy or something. I don't know.
Yeah, give us a report.
Thanks to our sponsors, DCR Graphics, Dominator Race Products, Oakshade Raceway, Ron Miller Race Cars, Freeze Frame Photos. Thanks again to our guests this week, Craig Mintz, Ryan Davis. Again, we'll have Cap Henry on next week. Thursday night, 7 o'clock. Make sure to tune in live, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. And again, always on demand on your favorite podcasting platform. Get out and support your local track this weekend. We're out.
We're done?
We're done.
Oh, man, I was just having fun.
Well, you can stay here, but I'm going.
No, that's all right.
All right, we'll see you next week.
We got stuff to do tonight.
You have been listening to the Hammer Down Racing Report, available on demand on iTunes, Google Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting platform.